up in front. It took him the first and second turn to get up there while the number 5 car lit up and flew.
And a while ago, we were looking at some of those tires with a buildup on it. It happens worse than ever right now. We've got tires that are picking up trash off the racetrack. They're giving one to go. They're going to have to clean those tires off. You go down that first turn, it will not stick. Some guy slides out too far, he could be in trouble.
And the final postscript to Dale Earnhardt's Daytona misfortune. Davey Allison handed him a dash plaque somebody gave him this week for his car. It said Earnhardt's worst nightmare. And Dale said, Davey, says, I haven't been dreaming about you. And Davey, everyone to prod the needle, said, well, what then? He said, been dreaming all week about seagulls and about spinning out.
Yeah, those seagulls found out you can't play chicken with a 3,700-pound car, 3,500-pound car. Here we are, lights off on the pace car, and down to it. Showing 396 complete. That means 397 when they come to the stripe. 3 to go when they come by. Lined up. Earnhardt, Rudd, Wallace, Gant, 1, 2, and there you see Rudd inching right up there. He doesn't want to let Earnhardt out of his trigger sight. But Earnhardt gets a little bit of a jump as they come to the line.
Let's see about this area you're talking about, Ken. We're getting right where you were talking about down in here where he's had trouble getting up to speed.
Didn't have it that time. Absolutely flawless. He is so good on restarts, but 2 or 3 times that car seemed to bog down earlier today. Not the case. Coming by. 2-lap indicator on the field. Earnhardt back in front. If Ricky Rudd has anything, now is the hour. Closing. Rudd moves in. 2 to go. Cuts at the half-car length. This is live on TBS this afternoon. Finish of the Pontiac Excitement 400. This time by 1 to go, and Ricky Rudd is there knocking on the door. To the stripe. White flag is out. Rudd goes to the inside. Makes his move. Ricky Rudd with that Waddell Wilson power. Here comes Earnhardt back on the outside. Ricky Rudd hangs her low. Wallace looking on from about 4 car lengths back straight away. Earnhardt has the advantage into 3. Stays high. Here comes Rudd. One more try. Pulls up on the inside. Down they come to the line. It will be Earnhardt's 49th Winston Cup win by less than a car length over Ricky Rudd.
It's a good clean racing there, Ken. You know, Earnhardt gave the inside lane. Rudd took it. They didn't even touch on the last lap coming off the corners.
Great finish here at Richmond. And Earnhardt is the Earnhardt of old. He may have lost Daytona, but he's won his 3rd Pontiac Excitement 400.
Well, it is all over, but the shouting and the celebrating and one of the most exciting finishes ever seen at Richmond. Dale Earnhardt holds off Ricky Rudd. Harry Gant gets 3rd from Rusty Wallace, and unsponsored Alan Kulwicki comes home with a brave, fine 5th place finish. Teresa Earnhardt watched those last 3 laps from here in the STP pit center, and Ken and Neil, I don't think she took a breath those whole last 3 laps. Let's go to victory lane where Phil Parsons is with a jubilant Dale Earnhardt.
I'm here with Dale Earnhardt. Dale, you didn't want to see that last caution flag, did you?
No, I was riding along pretty safe there, but, you know, Ricky raced me real clean there at the end. He got under me, and I gave him room, and, you know, he could have laid on me, but he raced hard, and he raced, tried to beat me fair and square, and, you know, it was a good race there at the last lap.
Dale, you've been sick a little bit with the flu this week. Does this make you feel a little bit better?
I can guarantee you. Second yesterday and win today with his Jim Goodwrench Chevrolet. You know, Western Steer and Matt came on board this year, and we've just been having a great time so far.
Well, Dale, you're 1 spot better than last year. You finished 5th in the Daytona 500 last year, and this year you finished 2nd here last year. Now you've won this one. You're 1 spot better, and it was a heck of a year last year.
Well, it was. You know, we started at the back of the pack last year and halfway back this time, so we had a better shot at it. But, you know, the guys did a good job on the pit stops. It was a, you know, a strategy race. Everybody had to run their strategy on pit stops and tires, and, you know, it made it interesting, I reckon. And, you know, Ricky ran good all day long, and, you know, he gave me a battle there at the end. It was a good race.
Thank you, Dale.
So it's Dale Earnhardt for the 3rd time. He did it in 85, he did it in 87, and today he did it at a record pace. Breaks the old mark of 95 miles an hour, 105 mile an hour average, by which Dale Earnhardt has won his 3rd Pontiac Excitement 400. More from Richmond in a moment.
The Wrestle War 91 pregame show with Jim Ross, Dusty Rhodes, and Missy Hyatt on special assignment with El Gigante. The main event, 6:05 Eastern on TBS today.
You know, our team's been real competitive with our Pontiac Grand Prix. So you can imagine how pumped up we got about this new high-tech engine Pontiac offers. Man, this is quality hardware. It's got 4 cams, 24 valves, multi-port fuel injection, and all kinds of torque and horsepower. Rules won't let us put it in our Grand Prix. You want to hear the good news? You can get it in your Grand Prix.
Well, it was some day here at Richmond. 35 cars at the outset. 31 actually finished the distance in the Pontiac Excitement 400. With Ken Stabler and Neil Bonnett, I'm Ken Squire, and we really saw ourselves a race out here today, Neil.
Well, I tell you, I didn't know how the tire thing would work out, but it worked out for a good finish at the end, and that last lap was a doozy.
How about it, Stabler? What'd you think of your first time around this Winston Cup racing?
Oh, it's a terrific event, and you look at Dale Earnhardt, he always seems to be right there to the end, and you look at that team, that pit crew, that entire situation over there with Richard Childress, and it always seems that Dale Earnhardt is right there, and I don't know if there's a better guy to have when the race is on the line. He does it over and over.
That's that black and silver working. There were 25 lead changes today. That is a record, and there were nearly 26. The man who could have created that is standing by with Dr. Dick Bergman.
Well, Ricky Rudd, you made an awful good run on him, especially in that last lap.
Well, I really did, Dick. You know, this Tidex on EDS Chevrolet run awful good. It's just come up a little bit short at the end of the race. It ran really good the first half of the race. I sat back and watched Alan Kwiecki and Harry Gant first 30, 40 laps beat on each other, and I just sat back there, and when it came time after the pit stops, our guys got us some real good fast stops, and that got us out front. And didn't really have to look back too much until about, I guess, lap 250, 300. Here come Earnhardt, and he gave us a heck of a run, and we just come up a little short at the very end.
What are you thinking of that last lap when you got right underneath him going into the first turn?
To knock or not to knock, you know, but I figured it's still early in the season. And that's kind of a bad guy to start picking on this early in the year. So I raced him clean. He raced me clean. And that's probably the biggest decision I had to make right there.
How about the new pit rules? How did that affect what you did? Did you like them today, your second chance at it?
Well, I think everything went like clockwork. You know, we sat down before the race. Waddell had already figured it up and knew what we could do and knew how far we can go on gas and just stuck to a game plan and didn't really, I guess we didn't let the new rules beat us. You know, we didn't beat ourselves with the new rules. We just acted as if the race was going to be a green flag race from start to finish. And when it came time for our pit schedule, whether it was a caution or not, we pitted. And it worked out good for us today.
Where was Earnhardt's great strength on the racetrack? What did he have you wish you had?
Well, his car could really get a bite up off the corner, especially on newer tires. He could really accelerate up off the corner. I had the acceleration, but I couldn't use it. I'd spin the tires. He had a little bit more forward bite. After we ran a long time, near about the time for a pit stop, our cars would level out on the watch. And I was telling Waddell, you know, if them guys would throw out an anchor, we might be able to catch them a little bit. But sure enough, we got a caution and got everything we wanted and just didn't quite pull it off. Maybe one more lap, we might have had it.
Real good finish. Ricky Rudd with a solid second place here this afternoon at Richmond.
Well, that was the line, to knock or not to knock, and he elected that since it was only the second race of 29 that he'd wait for that another time.
Sometimes you better knock. It might not be the second chance.
Certainly gave it a heck of a run, and let's look again at that incredible last lap here at Richmond. Here's the number 5, Ricky Rudd, making that stab. Diving down to the inside. Earnhardt giving him room. Plenty of distance there.
Yeah, right there is a place where you knock, and Ricky decided to give him the clean run up off the corner. Get that run right on him, straight up the straightaway.
Also looks like where he gets that bite that Ricky Rudd's talking about. You see him pull out about a car length on him right out of the corner. That's what Ricky Rudd was talking about.
And with that finish, Earnhardt is 22 points up on Ricky Rudd in the Winston Cup standings. I'll tell you one thing that we've seen happen here today is that these guys out-thunk all this pit strategy and made it a very good race. Everything that NASCAR wanted out of these new pit regulations worked. It made pit road safe, and all those teams went back and did their homework, and when they came out here today, they really did come with a plan, and remarkably, it made for a heck of a race.